and welcome to the podcast. I'm Risa.
I'm Ariana. I was just startled by my phone. Sorry.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. As a reminder, this podcast is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
If you don't like that, well then, that's good. You weren't invited to our birthday parties anyway. Head on over to her very own podcast, Unlocked, where Tammy Tucky will talk to people about things.
And stuff. And it's probably not going to be Paul F. Tompkins.
Probably not Paul F. Tompkins.
Get Paul F. Tompkins on I almost said Scopa instead of Unlocked, because we were talking about Scopa during the break.
Scopa, how do you play it?
Let's find out. You reminded me that when I'm dealing with children, it's always the funniest thing is that when they're so mad at you is they'll turn around and they'll be like, and you're not invited to my birthday party. And it's like, I'm an adult. I was never invited.
Well, I'm going to Disneyland and you can't go.
This isn't as devastating to me as you think it should be. Just like when one of them turned around, kindergartner, he goes, Miss Risa, you're not my friend anymore. And I was like,
I'm your teacher.
Kid. I'm your boss. I'm not.
I'm just here to make sure you don't choke on a crayon, man. Like,
pretty much.
Calm down.
Or shove it up your nose. Like the Skittles. So, what are we talking about today, sister?
Shit, man. Well, now I'm all like...
Thinking about trying to get a Skittle out of a child's nose?
It was just... And then he did it again.
He did do it again.
God.
Anyway. If you're out there, I know you're a fully grown adult now, but... You made some real bad decisions as a child.
Well, let me tell you, man.
What was that noise?
Motherfucker's about to get fucking killed is what that is. Jesus Christ.
So what are we talking about today, sister?
Well, today we're talking about parts of the podcast that are going to be cut on when we actually go to edit this. No, we are talking about more alternate endings.
So,
there are alternate endings.
Amazing. Our patron, Melta Joan Cusack, who's in the chat tonight, suggested that we do more alternate endings, which are if the culprit, that's the word I'm looking for, was a different person, how would it have turned out? So we did another one before, and we did about 5 games, so we did another 5 games this time. Because 5 is a good number.
5 is a good number. It's good for listing.
It is. I'm glad we agree. It's an orderly number. It is a number that takes charge. And so the first one I was thinking of was actually suggested by Melta Joan Cusack, which was Legend of the Crystal Skull. So obviously Renee did it in the end, but what if it was Dr. Buford? So I can't remember, is Dr. Buford in charge of the crew already, or was Bruno?
See,
he wanted more control of the Jolly Rogers. I can't remember.
It's fine. If you're changing it, you can change whatever details you fucking want.
Then in my version, Dr. Bolay was head of the crew of the Jolly Rogers, so he wanted him out of the way for that. And also, his own health was starting to fail him, right? So he's getting old too. And he hears that Bruno has this magic crystal skull that means you can't die. And, well, Bruno is old as fuck, so maybe it's real. So he thinks that maybe if he gets the skull, then his health will get better. Because Bruno is incredibly healthy for a very old man. So, yeah. I mean, Dr. Buford does. Yeah, whatever. That can happen at any age.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not your overall health.
I don't know.
So, what Dr. Buford does is he replaces the prescriptions for Dr. Belay. and he replaces his heart medication with sugar pills. And he's like, okay, this should just do it, right? Like, this will kill him. But it doesn't, because he realizes he has to give him some kind of shock to kill him. And that's why he sends the fake authentication letter.
Oh, no.
And so he kills him because he realizes that the only way that Dr. Bolay will die, because he's read the book on the Whisperer, right, is murder. The only way they can die, the owners of the skull can die, is murder. So he has to murder him.
Oh. Man, like, he was actually, like, out to murder. Because wasn't Renee, it was, like, not her intention?
No, she just wanted him to, like, think it was fake and just give it to her. No, Buford...
Dr. Buford apparently was out for blood.
Yeah. He was a man who understood that if this was real, if he was going to go full in on it, he was going to have to commit some murder.
Hey, man, I've already said, how do you get to a place in your life where you're going to try to scare a man into giving you... I mean, you just take it a step further, and you're going to try to kill a man to get that skull.
I'm just saying that people can get very desperate if they feel like they have no other options. And if he felt like his health was bad enough that he had no other options than a magic crystal skull, then I think that would drive someone to murder.
I can see it. Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be what happens in The Legend of the Crystal Skull if it was actually Dr. Buford. Man. Instead of Renee.
That is a slightly darker game.
I like it.
For our second game, we went with Alibi and Ashes. This is what happens when we go with the...
just use the acronyms.
Just the acronyms, because my brain just goes, Ash. Yeah, we went with Ash. But... alternate ending for Ash. It was Tony. It was always Tony. Because, honestly, every single time it feels like that's what should have happened. But instead, they just skirt around her obvious organized crime connections and the fact that she somehow... She is a very disliked person around town. Pretty much. She's a very abrasive personality, and yet she's somehow an elected official.
Yeah, she married into that family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She married into the people who framed Alexi. I can't remember their last name right now. We'll just continue.
I mean, her name's... No.
Her name's Scolari, but that's not it. It starts with a B, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But, so I feel like... it's a much more interesting story if this whole thing is essentially an attempt by Tony to make River Heights into a town which is officially run and owned by the mafia.
Pretty much.
Like, this makes so much more sense as opposed to a grown woman with a weird obsession with a teenage girl and needing people to think she looks bad. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I very much prefer overthrowing a government.
Yeah. And basically, Tony just being like, if we tried to do what we're going to do and Nancy is, like, available to stop us, then we'll be stopped. So what we have to do is get rid of Nancy. And how do we do that? Well, we have to make it so that everyone thinks she did something so upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think Tony's a better villain.
I honestly, mostly just because I hate Tony so much. Yeah. Like, I hate Brenda, but, like, in an annoying way.
Yeah.
But Tony is just so upsetting. Fucking Sarah Palin-ass bitch over here. Like...
Well, hi there.
It's like, shut up. You know?
Yeah. Not a fan of Tony.
No. I'm gonna jump ahead.
Okay.
I want to do Midnight in Salem as last in case people haven't played it.
Okay.
So I'm going to do Trail of the Twister.
Okay.
That way I'm doing one. We're alternating, Ariana. We're alternating.
Yes. At what point did I say otherwise? Was I not
face.
just saying, okay?
It was your face and your tone of voice that said
Why
otherwise.
do people keep saying things about my face? You, Adam, what the fuck is wrong with my face?
Is that everyone, Ariana? Is that this just
That's everyone in my life, yes.
So, Trail of the Twister. I say it was Pa. So,
Do tell.
And, okay, keep going.
And
so I think it was Pa because he was so, like, he blamed Ma's death completely on the alarms, the storm alarms not going off, right? And the storm alarms are being kept up by Scott's team. So, in his brain, Scott's team caused Ma's death. Right? Even though it's really hard to do that kind of shit, guys. But Pa, he just blamed it all and just focuses all of his hate on this team. And now they're in this competition where they might win, what is it, millions of dollars? And he feels like they will be benefiting from his wife's death. Because they just took the fact that it was wrong before her, when she died and everything, and they've improved it since then. So her death benefited them. So now he's out to just hate them. He hates them so much. So he's doing everything he can. Yeah, these are dark endings.
These are dark endings.
I'm sorry. I went a little... As if this isn't already a darkish game. Come on, guys. It's a man who gets mad because he doesn't get tenure, so he puts everyone's lives at risk.
Yeah. Reese
is
is telling me about this. Reese is telling me about this, and I was like, wow, Pa, that's pretty short-sighted, but at the same time, it's a better reason than fucking scat.
Yeah. So he just sabotages them. He refuses to let the storm chasers benefit, win anything. He must sabotage them at all costs, even if that leads to people's injuries. Yes, and in chat, it said, Pa pulled a Pua Mapu and just murdered Ma.
Right.
I like how it's Krolmeister Sisters canon that Pua Mapu murdered her mother. I'm glad everyone is
everyone's accepting this.
They're accepting
Fine.
this.
Spread the word.
Yeah. So that's Trail of the Twister. Yeah. Pa did it, and he is just gonna watch the world burn,
I feel like in this, you kind of replaced Pa with, a Clint Eastwood character. It's like, they took the only woman I ever loved.
No, it's just Pa.
Now I gotta go after him.
He's doing it in this, no, this is all right. This is, a complete state of denial while he's doing it, too, He's doing this because it's what's best for Ma. Okay.
I mean, it's not. She's dead. She doesn't care anymore.
Oh.
Okay. So, second time we're mentioning this game tonight. But Haunting of Castle Malloy. I have a theory. No, but here's an idea. Okay, what if Kit did it? Not because he was in love with Kyler, because he wasn't.
That's a stupid.
That's a lame fucking reason to do anything. This is fucking lame. But no, because he always felt superior to Matt. I mean, come on, Kit's clearly that guy who hangs out with someone to so he can feel superior to him and just keep him around. And then suddenly here comes this woman who actually chooses Matt over him. No. This will not stand.
And is getting married before he is, and
right?
Is higher up in his at his job than he is. And
This is the most insulting thing to him.
And doesn't even make him his best man.
For real. He actually sees through the fact that Kit feels superior to him and doesn't make him his best man? Because, I mean, come on. Why are you gonna have that friend be your best man? I also like this because it clears Fiona up to be the Deus Ex Machina because she seems like a banshee monster the whole time, but she's just upset that there is a man, an Englishman, in her daddy's lab, and so she's the secret hero who's been like trying to get everybody to rescue Matt the whole time. I also like the idea that there is a scene where Fiona picks up Kit and like she swoops him up and she's like flying around with him and he's like freaking out and he's screaming because he's like, oh, she's gonna drop me and kill me, and yeah, I think that would be just like the right amount of like slapstick humor that this game needed. You know,
yeah.
This really dark, distressing game needed a little, a kind of comedic villain.
Yeah.
I think that would have honestly brightened things up a little.
And real estate.
And real estate, like, he is the most 90s villain.
It's true.
He's just a real estate guy.
Yeah.
Who has a superiority complex.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Also,
now,
you know, Kit's a bad dude, so I feel like he deserves this.
Yeah, he's not a great guy. He's just kind of an asshole. He's the kind of guy who looks at a chick and she like smacks him and walks away and he goes, you'll be back. Am I wrong? Isn't that what he is?
It is. It's what he is.
It's what he is. But yeah, so last one is, the last one is Midnight in Salem. So if you have not played Midnight in Salem, stop here. That's, you know.
I really don't think the ending is the...
to be honest, I don't think there's much to spoil about Midnight in Salem, but if you care about it, stop now. Maybe play it if you want, or, you know what, who cares? Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But, Midnight in Salem, we know that Tegan was the original bad guy. We know. It has to have been, like, Alicia didn't exist in the original, so she couldn't have been the intended bad guy. I say no. Midnight in Salem. And I say Tegan did it. So, but I'm going to put a different spin on it than I think would have originally been it. If you remember, Ariana and I, when we were going over what all of the art was and stuff like that, when we originally went through all of the concept art and talked about it, we specifically looked at Tegan and we said, she looks like a low-key abuser. Mm-hmm. She looks like she's incredibly controlling. It looks like she's making... Like, she seems like someone who is just her...
Like, just the way they described it was like, oh yeah, she has a soft spot for her sister, but... And she could be really nice, but then she snaps, and her temper flies.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Ooh.
It sounds like they literally were just describing an abuser. And so, how I see it is that as a kid... She was the one who caused the original fire that gave May her scar. Mm-hmm. As, like, maybe on accident, maybe on purpose. Who knows? But she, now that her sister is the bad kid and everything, she's there to protect her, and she's who she has. And she finds out that... May, I know what character I'm talking about, May got accepted to, in the game, it's Waverly, but if I'm going to make the ages make sense, a college somewhere else.
Yeah.
If we want to try and make the ages make any kind of sense in that game, which if I'm rewriting it, I will. She got accepted into some kind of arts college away from her sister, and her sister is suddenly realizing that she's going to lose control of May, and how can she fix this? And, like, the only thing she can think of, really, is to just get her in legal trouble again so she can't go to college. So,
because that's what you do.
So she frames her sister for arson, with the added benefit of if the, whatchamacallit house, Hathorn House, that's the name, had any kind of evidence of who her ancestors were, then, you know, and her relation, she puts all of the stuff she finds in the historical society into the Hathorn estate before she burns it down, so she can 2 birds, 1 stone. Now no one's going to be able to connect her family to the people in the witch trials. Mm-hmm. So she can keep her place in that activist circle while now still regaining control of her sister, who, you know, is now in legal trouble, won't be able to go to college because of that. And, you know, now I'm here to care for you, though, May. I'm here for you.
Again, this is a really dark one.
I'm just saying. That was already what we kind of expected before we got introduced to any of the new characters.
It is.
And then we got introduced to the new characters and we went, oh, Alicia did it. And then she did.
And then she did do it.
She did, in fact, do it. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah.
We were shocked.
She was a full-on Scooby-Doo villain. But yeah, I like that ending. Yeah. I mean, I don't like it, but...
No.
But I'm just saying it makes sense.
It does.
It does.
And it's, you know, some things that, you know, I feel like the game should have touched on, because she's really a pretty shitty sister in the game as it is.
And she did technically burn down the Hathorn estate. She did technically already do it and let her sister take the fall. Like, she gets off scot-free for that. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Not great. It's really that one.
We need to do an episode where we fix Midnight in Salem.
We do. Yeah.
Because
we really do. I was just thinking about that. I was like, this game, it is a hot, hot mess.
But yeah. So that's our alternate endings for this time.
Yeah.
So if you guys would like to tell us some alternate endings for other games, we would love to hear them on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, or our fancy website, krolmeistersisters.knifefightclub.com.
How about you always call it fancy? It's like, we should really change it sometime so that it's got, like, beautiful golden scrolls on the sides.
I tried to make it accessible.
That's silly. Don't do that. You can also head on over to... You can also find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify. And there in those places, in that type of place, you can leave us reviews and let us know how we did, you know? Tell people to listen to us. Shit like that.
Yeah. If you would like to support us, you can subscribe to us on Twitch to get access to our cute little wine glass emote, as well as Podcast Night VODs. Or you can support us on Patreon to get access to Podcast Night VODs, Stream Cat pictures, our backer channel, and our Discord, as well as you can tell us to talk about something like this. You too can
put words in our mouths.
Exactly. So, as a reminder, I'm Risa.
And I'm Ariana, until someone tells me otherwise.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. And we're asking you guys to stay sleuthy.